Hi traders, this is Steve Miley for FX Explained, and we're now going to take a look at the US stock averages, in particular here the S&P 500, but also a global outlook in here, what's going on for stocks being hit in here on the downside by Monday's tariffs put on by the US on Brazil and Argentina on their steel and aluminium. They're still aluminium imports into the US. And if you actually look at the European, so the sell-off we saw here on the US equity averages, this was here on Monday, but really the European equity averages getting hit more. So here we saw the DAX got really hit on the downside, and then also the Euro stocks in here got significantly hit on the downside. So they were the big sufferers, the European equity averages on Monday. But then we had the US playing catch up yesterday. So here was the sell-off on Monday, and then the US further lower yesterday, and that was being driven more than anything then by the fact that we had kind of an escalation of the negativity on the trade talks. US-China trade talks could go on way into 2020, that coming from both President Trump and from US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, and all of that has upset markets in here and seen them move significantly lower. Critically in here for the S&P 500, we took out this important swing low at 3090.75. You can see in here the market moving in here to multi-week lows here, wiping out all of this support from November. Remember on Monday we were only hitting a new all-time high at 3158, and we've wiped out 2 to 3 weeks of support in here. If we go and take a look at, go back in there, take a look at what we've seen for the European indices, well, the DAX in here has wiped out pretty much all the support from November. So all of the November lows in here wiped out back on Monday in here by just that one move down, almost as well coming from a multi-month high for the DAX. So markets certainly signaling very negative outlook in here on the back of a couple of negative developments on both the global trade war, Brazil and Argentina being pulled in, and the US-China trade war looking to potentially extend into 2020. We have had a slight rebound in here overnight, but whilst below this 3107.5 level, we're looking for negative pressures to come back in, looking for a move back down towards 3080, 3079, and maybe to this 69.5 low, and then 63.5, 3063.5 is going to be critical. If we break down through there, that's the low swing in here from early November. If it breaks down through there, then that would shift the intermediate term outlook to far more bearish. So an overall more negative theme. Now we've got the intermediate term outlook as neutral after the 2-day sell-off, but the real threat is to signal a more bearish shift going into the balance of this week. Today's focus is going to be on the PMI data. We have global market PMI data, and we have US ISM PMI data later today. I'm going to wish you all a great trading day. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, and we'll be back with you soon.